Hey, yo, what up? It's been a minute since I did like a fanboy video. Okay, like if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a huge fan of comic books and the comic book characters. Mainly, I'm mainly a fan of Marvel, of the Marvel universe, and like and a few of the characters from Image, but mainly Marvel. On this video, I want to talk about black comic book characters that are making a name for themselves and are making a landmark within the in the comic book universe. Have you ever noticed that when like comic book characters that are traditionally white or made for traditional white roles, as soon as a black character comes into play, it stirs up a lot of attention. And like, even though a lot of people who are just now catching on to Marvel because of the movies they're putting out based on their characters, especially that is a good example. Have you ever noticed Marvel? Like, I'm not really into I like the Marvel movies based on the comic book characters, but I'm more into the comic books. But like the Marvel universe, they did not start putting out movies based on their characters until the 1997 movie Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. Okay, and they automatically assumed that wasn't gonna do Blade wasn't gonna do good in the movies, but yet they came out with three installments of the Blade movies, which the first one coming out in 1997, and the second one coming out in 1999, then the third one in 2003 or 4. But like, here's something that you probably wouldn't know: Marvel Comics did not finance the first Blade movie because they assumed that it wasn't going to be as successful. But Wesley Snipes, he paid for that movie out of his own pocket because he wanted to see a black superhero or a black comic book character be put into play. He had plans on playing the Wakandan King, Black Panther, but like that never fell through. But like in other comic book characters, like the same year that Blade movie came out, the Spawn, the comic book Spawn came out, which is about an undead superhero / anti-hero who came back to the dead so he can win the love of his wife again, who happened to be married to his best friend, who married his best friend 5 years after he died. Hold up my head. Okay, like in the comic books, Spawn, aka Al Simmons, was originally killed by the black mass murderer, or his former friend named Chapel. But like Todd McFarlane did not originally create the Chapel character who killed Al Simmons, aka Spawn. So when it came time to put the movie into play, the original artist who made Chapel did not want his character killed off in the movie, so they had to substitute Chapel for the white character named Priest, who was a woman, Jessica Priest. That's who they substituted it for. Spawn is like the biggest selling independent comic of all time. Like Spawn, aka Al Simmons, was named after Todd McFarlane's former best friend, whose name is also Al Simmons. He also has a friend named Terry Fitzgerald. I don't know if he's black, but like the reason why he made the Spawn character black is because he did not see a lot of black superheroes that were coming into play. But like, even though this man is a white Canadian, he chose to make this character named Spawn black, even though the current Spawn is white. The first 185 issues of Spawn featured starred none other than Al Simmons, the black dude. And just like in the Marvel, but back to the Marvel world, there's if you don't read the comic books of the Marvel comic books, you know that there are like 5 different dimensions, of 5 alternate dimensions of every particular character, whether it be a Wolverine, Spider-Man, X-Men, whoever. But there's there's a series based on their universe called the Ultimate Universe, and in the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, dies while getting his neck broke, while getting shot and getting his neck broke after defeating the Green Goblin. When the Green Goblin, when Spider-Man died, then Miles Morales, who happens to be half black and half Puerto Rican, came into play. Miles Morales, who was bitten by a spider just like him, he possessed a character. He possessed. Excuse me for stuttering. He possessed spider-like features just like Peter did, but he also had the ability to touch somebody and electrocute them and turn invisible. You know what made people. What caused the creation of Miles Morales, aka the Ultimate Spider-Man, Barack Obama, because he's biracial, just like Miles Morales, and Spider-Man happens to be his favorite comic book. But I was listening to Harvey Superboy, who I'm sub to. He's a fellow comic reader just like me, and he said the Ultimate series featuring the Black Spider-Man, aka Miles Morales, is not doing so well in the book series. But I kind of beg to differ with him on that, because whenever I go up to the comic book store to buy Ultimate Spider-Man comic, they're always sold out. So therefore, I had to go way on the other side of town just to buy Ultimate Spider-Man comic book. Evidently, it's doing pretty well if it's selling out in certain comic book shops. Just like there's a Batman has a black Spider-Man who calls himself Batwing. Like the current one is Lucius Fox, who happens to be the son of Lucas Fox, who happens to be the son of Lucian Fox. Lucian Fox was played by Morgan Freeman in those Batman movies, but like in the comic books, he also exists. He's like one of the few people who knows Batman's true identity of being the billionaire Bruce Wayne. But in the Batwing comic books, he has like a technologically modified suit, and to add on to his fighting prowess. But he plays more of a side. He plays like I think he plays something beyond a sidekick. Like Robin, aka Tim Drake, is Batman's sidekick. But like Batwing does his own thing. But then, when it comes to Marvel superheroes, the most unsung, the most popular yet unsung character, black superhero is Bishop. Who happens to be the last X-Men. Like if you only read the comic, like everybody who reads the comic books, especially Marvel, they know who the hell Bishop is. Bishop, who happens to be a black Aborigine, but mainly he's black. But like he happens to be a black superhero with the ability to absorb energy and throw it back at people. Like if you just only go see the movies, those Marvel movies, those movies that Marvel put out, then you don't know who the hell Bishop is. Like, because I know for a fact if Bishop or even Miles Morales would appear on the Marvel movies, that would just blow a lot of people's mind. Especially people blacks who never picked up a book. It's almost like a Star Trek, like I'm gonna go to Star sci-fi route, like Star Trek. There's a even though Star Trek Deep Space Nine featured the first black captain, like there was a series that came after that called Star Trek Voyager, which had a female as the lead captain, as the captain of the ship. But yet it also featured a Vulcan who happens to be the alien race that Mr. Spock, aka Leonard Nimoy, belonged to. But like in Star Trek Voyager, they had a black man playing a Vulcan, and that caused a lot of uproar. But they never mentioned this, but that caused a lot of uproar within the sci-fi community. I'm like, why is they having why you can't pick like another a white person to play Mr. Spock? Well, you know something, Leonard Nimoy, who played the original Vulcan, Mr. Spock, he's Jewish, but they barely made a stink about that. But when this brother became the Vulcan, he caught a lot of fans of Star Trek disapproved, just like a lot of fans disapproved with the brother who played in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. But basically, that's all I mainly want to talk about. Like black characters making a huge landmark within the comic book community, even the adaptations of the movies that Marvel put out. All right, that's all I gotta say.